My niggas love me cause I kept it official. I decorated my jacket, I got hella credentials. Yeah, your rollie is cool, and I respect it, I'm with you. But that's the elements on you. What's the elements in you? You say you real, but you ratted. There's no respect for the pickle, and ain't no room in this room cause you brought an elephant with you.
Kid Slade, boom, right? He said the police came and seen him and asked him if he knew such and such, if he knew Jerk, and he knew Ape, and he knew A-Man and Jules, and all these people that were down with Money Green Bedrock. That's what he said.
I don't even know who that is. Honestly, I'm like, I don't know who that is. They running these names down. They running names. Jerk, Deck, Platt. They running niggas' names down from the block. I'm like, oh, I don't know these niggas.
He said that they showed him the music video from the fight from 09. From what was it, April of 09? They showed him the fight from April of 09. Or not the fight, the video, the music video, right?
So then they play the music video. Oh, you don't know these niggas? So why are you in the video right here?
And he said they showed him a picture. He was like at Zeke's funeral. He said that on his live.
Then they got a slideshow of pictures from funeral. Rest in peace, Zeke. They had pictures from Zeke's funeral with all of us outside.
And then he had to say he knew them by their regular names, da-da-da.
And I had to tell him, I'm like, yo, I didn't know that by those names you was given. Oh, these my friends.
I knew he was lying and snitching from the rip. Every version of this video I knew he told.
And I had to tell him.
First off, when Piper Boy talked to Jerk, Jerk said
they jammed him up because he's talking about he don't know like X, Y, and Z. But then they're like, yo, why are you in the video with these people? Why are you in pictures with these people? And so then he's just like, this is
what you need to do. This is what you need to do. Tell Hip Hop his real to prove that he was in the video or the pictures with people. Because I got the actual video. And he's not in the video, bro.
Why are you in all these pictures and in this video with niggas? Explain this.
If they showed that music video to Kid Slade, then how the fuck does Jerk have it?
Because I got the actual video. And he's not in the video, bro.
They don't give you evidence back, homie. And all them niggas got convicted. So Slade is lying. Plus, a music video that has nothing to do with nothing, or shows you with members of the, let's say it shows you with members of the gang. Okay, guess what else shows you with members of the gang? You at Zeke's funeral. So why would they need two things like that? But you know what? I'm gonna make you feel it, homie. You wanna tell you what they really showed you when they came and seen you? What they showed you was a picture of you at Ezekiel Roberts. That's Zeke's name, Ezekiel Roberts.
Ezekiel Roberts is one of the targets, or one of the individuals who we looked at as having a license to use firearms as part of what we call one of the street gangs, which is, we believe, Money Green Bedrock. He was associated with that particular organization.
They showed you a picture of you and the members of Money Green Bedrock at his funeral. And then they showed you a video proof, footage proving that you were present at the West Indian Day Parade when he got killed. And then you had to snitch.
And I had to tell him.
I'm smart like that, my nigga. I put it on my daughter, you snitch, nigga. You did that because they showed you footage of yourself at the West Indian Day Parade. I know why that's very significant. See, when Ezekiel Roberts got killed, when your man got killed back in 08 at that parade, you know what happened, bro? Everybody that was there at that parade on either side, all those guys got convicted for his death and all those shootings that happened. The guy who had to take the blame for Ezekiel Roberts' death, the actual death of his fatality, was Michael R. Ledbetter. You didn't know I knew that, did you? Everybody had to take an Alford plea. They all claim they didn't kill him, but everybody had to, they maintained that innocence that they didn't kill him, but they had to plead guilty because there was so much evidence from the fucking parade and the video footage that if they showed it to a jury, nobody would have been able to actually prove their innocence. And you were there. But by the time you got locked up in December 22nd, 23rd of 2011 on Operation Grinch all the way out in Norwich, all them guys had been up and going to prison already. And they realized they missed one. And they had leverage on you.
And I had to tell them.
The main guy who took blame for that nigga's body, the nigga Michael R. Ledbetter, he got 14 years. sat in prison for 6 years until 2014 when he was released after the culmination of the investigation that took down Money Green Bedrock. Turns out the investigative witness that actually said he was involved recanted and said he wasn't the guy who did it, and they finally released him.
It's a grand jury investigation, bro.
Now, me saying that right there don't mean nothing to the average person because y'all don't break the law. Y'all don't understand paperwork, bruh.
Like y'all saying like he's on more paperwork.
When you break the law, you get green sheets. When you hit the precinct, you get green sheets. Then there's a process called a probable cause hearing. Sometimes it's a grand jury hearing in regular states. You understand what I'm saying? This is where they're going to use the testimony of the police and people who were present when you actually broke the law. Take their testimony and decide whether or not they're going to indict you. They move forward, you're going to go through the preliminary shit. You understand what I'm saying? If you plead out, only part of your paperwork you're going to have is the investigative part that they use to say, that, all right, this is the shit he did, is what they use. That's going to be in the finality of your paperwork. Unless you go to trial, don't nobody's name got to appear in nothing. And don't nobody got to point you out.
So he didn't get on the stand, he just gave the affidavit.
That's in any state, homie. And most of them guys from Money Green Bedrock pleaded out.
Slade's name is on more paperwork, and it's not.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not on more paperwork.
That's why they don't got no paperwork. But I'm saying all this to really grease you up a little bit for it. Pause. Connecticut works different from other states. When they use the grand jury, it's under very special conditions. I'm gonna post a little clips of that. I even read it out.
Under Connecticut law, crimes charged by the state on or after May 26 of 1983 are prosecuted by complaint or information rather than grand jury indictment. The grand jury's function is limited to conducting investigations of governmental corruption, Medicaid vendor fraud, racketeering, election law violations, and felonies punishable by more than 5 years imprisonment, for which the chief state's attorney or state's attorney can show that there is no other means of obtaining information as to whether a crime has been committed or the perpetrator's identity. The investigatory grand jury is a judge, judge-referee, or three-judge panel. A panel of 3 superior court judges appoints the grand jury in response to an application by a judge, justice, chief state's attorney, or a state's attorney that demonstrates there is probable cause to believe a crime has been committed. If the applicant is the chief state's attorney or a state's attorney, he must demonstrate that normal investigatory methods have failed, are likely to fail, or are too dangerous, and state the reason why he believes that a grand jury investigation will lead to a finding of probable cause that a crime was committed. The grand jury and attorneys or state's attorneys who are asked to assist, it may subpoena people to testify before it and produce documents. Witnesses appearing before the grand jury must be informed of their right to have counsel present, and if they are targets, they must be advised of their right to remain silent. At the conclusion of the investigation, the grand jury must file its finding of whether there is probable cause to believe a crime was committed with the court and the prosecutor, if any, who apply for the grand jury. Scope of the grand jury investigations. Investigatory grand juries are limited to examining 1. State and local governmental corruption, 2. Medicaid vendor fraud, 3. Racketeering activity under CORA.
If you look at the Rico, what does the Rico consist of? If you look at the state CORA law, what does the state CORA law, you know what I'm saying, consist of? You know what I'm saying? Enterprise.
4. Election law violations, and 5. Class A, B, or C felonies or unclassified felonies punishable by more than 5 years imprisonment, for which the chief state's attorney or state's attorney can show that there is no other means of obtaining information as to whether a crime has been committed or the identity of a person or people who may have committed it. Very fucking important to remember that.
There's no denying camera footage. So y'all told him, and I had to tell him.
Application for investigation. Judges of the Superior, Appellate, or Supreme Court, the Chief State's Attorney, or State's Attorney may apply to a panel of 3 Superior Court judges specially designated by the Chief Court Administrator for a grand jury investigation. The applicant must have a reasonable belief that the administration of justice requires an investigation to determine whether or not there is probable cause to believe a crime has been committed, and he must include in his application a statement of the facts and circumstances that justify this belief. If he is the Chief State's Attorney or a State's Attorney, he must also include 1. The status of the investigation and of the evidence collected by the application date, 2. Why other normal investigative procedures that were tried, failed, or why normal procedures are unlikely to succeed or are too dangerous to use, and 3. The reasons for the applicant's belief that an investigatory grand jury and the investigative procedures it employs will lead to finding a probable cause that a crime was committed.
But we read that part, which is a lot, you know what I'm saying? But is there any paperwork saying like what he said led to the arrest?
Listen, man, the paperwork is what you got. That's what the paperwork is, bro.
Yeah, but it doesn't say any, like when I'm saying, and I seen all the comments, it's like the paperwork doesn't say that what he said on that affidavit is leading to murder cases. It's not saying that.
Disclosure to the public. The panel's order and the application must be sealed, but the panel must submit to the Chief Court Administrator a summary of the investigation scope. This summary is available to the public unless a majority of the panel determines it should be sealed to protect an individual's safety or the investigation itself, or to comply with other statutes or court rules. Very fucking important to hear that. The grand jury must conduct its investigation in private unless the panel by majority vote determines that disclosure is in the public interest. Attorney assistance to grand jury and grand jury subpoena power. The grand jury may seek assistance with its investigation from the chief state's attorney or state's attorney who applied for the grand jury, or if a judge was the applicant, from an attorney it appoints. It may subpoena people to testify before it and produce documents. If a summoned witness fails to comply, the grand jury may report this to the appropriate state's attorney or the chief state's attorney, who in turn may file a complaint in criminal court. After a show cause hearing, the court may punish the witness for contempt. Just contempt.
I got subpoenaed to court out of a jail cell. Anybody that don't know, you can't tell the warden or CO that you're not going to court. They're going to rush the cell, or I was in the dorm, they're going to rush the dorm, tell everybody to get on their bunks, put the Hannibal mask on you after they drag you to SEG, put you in a wheelchair, drag your stupid ass in the courtroom, and you're going to court. Point blank period.
You know, he said if he didn't go to court, they was going to put him in a wheelchair and put a muzzle on his face. Man, this ain't no fucking cannibal. This ain't a movie, man.
And finally, investigation findings. Within 60 days after the investigation ends, the grand jury must file its findings with the court, the panel of judges that receives applications for grand jury investigations, and the chief state's attorney or the state's attorney, if any, who applied for the grand jury. The finding must state whether there is probable cause to believe a crime was committed. It may include all or part of the investigation record, but may not disclose allegations that a person committed a crime unless the grand jury found probable cause that he committed it, or he requests release of that part of the record. The findings must be open to public inspection and copying at the court 7 days after it is filed, unless within that period the chief state's attorney or the state's attorney with whom it was filed requests that the grand jury not disclose all or part of its findings. In addition, the stenographer must file the investigation. Well, I guess that part don't really matter, but you can read it. Yeah.
Money Green Bedrock fit the stipulations. Goes into detail about how they seal the records, how they get the panel, how they got to get the investigation. All that shit is in there, bro. So many things that point to this nigga snitching. So let me get rid of things that don't matter. Ape, that is what, James Rayner, he doesn't matter at all. The most significant thing here is going to be his brother, Donald Rayner. That's Amen. But I'll get to him in a second to really solidify how niggas know it was Kid Slade that snitched, even though he lied and said they came and seen him and only needed names to say that he knew those people. It doesn't make sense, bro. They already had their names. I read every fucking news report on it, bro. You're a liar. So they picked Amen up on like June 14th, June 17th, 2013. The date is very significant because the grand jury investigation that they used to actually net the members of Money Green Bedrock started 18 months prior to him getting picked up. It's the culmination of an 18-month investigation. You understand what I'm saying? Now, June is the 6th month of the year. Go back 6 months is January. Go back another 12 months, you're in January of 2012. That's less than a week after Kid Slade gets locked up in Norwich on Operation Grinch. It's less than a motherfucking week, bro. Mind you, you was the only nigga locked up. I mean, shit. Anyway, so let me get into another part so y'all can demystify the confusion. And I'm gonna walk y'all down. Let's talk about this enterprise shit, all right? Money Green Bedrock was not it wasn't a Rico case. Rico's federal. They got charged with like being like an enterprise. That's a state level, criminal organization type shit, street organization. And it works in a completely different way. Like a Rico case, they'll take off a section of the 9 Trey gangster bloods, like they did with Tekashi. We're gonna get y'all whole lineup. The case is against y'all as a whole. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely going to trial. It's federal shit.
Like, so he's supposed to be involved with like another case, like Kid Slade.
No, what I'm trying to say is,
go ahead.
Wherever you see his paper, the paper that you see his name on, that was one case.
Right.
Then the Rico shit was the ultimate thing. Tried to find in front of a grand jury. He testified in front of a grand jury and pointed out people in an organization. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he pointed out people who put their face to their names and kept it to the point where he tried to make sure everybody played a role in a part of an organization, bro. I was part of that organization. Everybody's keep looking at a fight, bro. It's not about a fight, bro. It's a grand jury investigation, bro.
When it comes to the state level, how they charged them, it wasn't like, it was more like an operation. Kind of like what Kid Slade got caught up on. I'll get into that part, but it was more like an operation suite. It's just focused solely on the members of Money Green Bedrock and the members of that group. So it was like an amalgamation of cases. Everybody had their own individual cases. It wasn't one big case. So y'all are looking for some like grand master paperwork, and it's not gonna work like that. Each person's gonna have their own paperwork.
Like, he could say whatever.
How was it hearsay, bro?
Because he could say whatever, and it's not in the paperwork. Like other than what you already showed.
In the paperwork, bro. Do y'all people y'all looking at this shit as this one case? Y'all looking at it as being one case, bro. It ain't one case. You feel me? It's more than one case, bro. You feel me?
Nah, I hear what you're saying.
It's fights, it's shootings, it's murders, it's all like played a role in that, bro. You understand what I'm saying? You know what he was doing. You know what he was doing.
So you saying he played a role in them getting convicted for all these years because he testified on the fight or gave an affidavit on the fight?
Bro, he said testify on the fight, bro. He pointed out names to faces and said that we were gang members. We're not gang members, bro. He got arrested, bro. If you
They're never going to have the snitches because these guys pleaded out. Amen didn't plead out. He went to trial. Funny enough, they really wanted him for all the retaliation shootings that happened after Zeke got killed. So there's a big difference in that. However, being an enterprise how they were puts them in line to have a grand jury investigation, and that's why they ran one. Now, I know niggas is like, damn, that's not really no proof that Slade told, but again, it really is. Like I said, Kid Slade told you the police showed him a music video. You know, when Piper Boy talked to that nigga, he said, there's no way, but he has the video. He even told Piper Boy that Amen was coming home. He's fighting his case, so he didn't want to talk about certain things. Well, I'm not fighting the case, so I'm going to talk about what he wouldn't talk about. Again, how they know Kid Slade told. Because remember, he had to snitch to get out of that West Indian Day parade shit. I know that hurt your feelings to hear me say that. I promise you. He had to tell. Now they wanted, I done probably jumped off where I was going to be at, man. But it don't even matter. They wanted Amen for the string of shootings that followed it. All right, now listen. When he went to trial, I remember they picked him up June 2013. He went to trial September of 2014. It was a hung jury. Then he got retried March of 2015. They gave him 60 years. So he's the guy that got the 60 years. Ape got the 37 and the 10. But we know that Mark helped tell on him about the murders he committed and paralyzing Luis Torres and the murder of Kenneth Carter that Ape did with Jewel. So you know I'm really deep. I dug deep on all of the shit to know the cast of characters and how they know it was Kid Slade, bro. Alright? And he gave him 60 years the second time he went to court. Piper Boy said he wasn't coming home. Let me get into him getting convicted in the 60 years first. Alright, one of the witnesses they had in that was an ex-member of Money Green Bedrock named Jose Rivera. And what happens is Jose Rivera gets put on the spot as being present at the West Indian Day retaliation shootings. And the investigation is already rolling. He decides, fuck it, I guess if I fess up to being there, I'll get some time off my sentence. But it didn't work and it was a hung jury. Second time they took it, they gave 60 years to old boy. In 2020, they started the turnover for that. Because Amen has one of the best lawyers in Connecticut. He said they used two pieces of evidence that went largely untested. One piece of evidence was their witness. That's Jose Rivera. The statements he gave about his supposed being there didn't match with the grand jury investigation secretive witness. His statements about being there didn't match the same statements that the whoever was helping the grand jury, their secret witness. And I'm gonna get into how you know it wasn't Mark Doster. The other evidence was tied to a gun and ballistics that have something to do with the stolen cache of guns.
He ain't telling y'all about the artillery he gave up. He making it seem like it's all about a fight. This shit bigger than a fight.
We're not gonna get into keep getting the detail of facts because he's still trying to get out of jail. My message to him is say this, right? Free my people. Plug talk. All you gotta do is go to court and say they was lying. That's all you gotta do. Free my people, man. You heard?
That's the shit that Jerk didn't want to talk to Piper Boy about, because it would have been like admitting that amen. But they know that you knew about that, Slade. They can hide you with the investigation, but as the investigation goes on and they start locking people up, they tend to get a little more loose lip. They start giving information up in the newspapers. How long the investigation was going, 18 months. It ties it to you getting locked up for Grinch. When they let Michael Ledbetter out, they talk about him getting convicted. They talk about all those people getting bagged up on the Alfred plea. They talk about this nigga getting released because the grand jury witness said that he wasn't the guy. He took the statement back. Only someone there would know. You know what I'm saying? Then the guns and shit. You know what I mean? The guns, Kid Slade, they know it was you. I seen what they said in the papers, bro. They knew their names for years. They knew who all those guys were. Nobody would tell on them. They needed to tie them to crimes. And they held a crime over your head, my nigga. So you told. Fuck you mean, boy? Talking about they came and talked to you about a video. Come on, bro. Why would they do that? And the cornucopia of crimes that these niggas committed throughout the whole sweep, when you look at all the murders and shit, you really think you want these niggas to believe? You want a nigga like me to believe they came and seen you to hear about a glass bottle at a fight? Nobody even got killed that day. You know what I'm saying? That fight that took place July of 09, nobody got killed that day. And it's real easy it's easy for you to paint the narrative that you didn't tell. It's easy to just say it was Mark, or to say all you did was gave up names, because it puts the civilian in the mind of, oh man, well, he got to be telling the truth. Why would he lie if he said he gave up names? But again, when you look at it from my position, or the position of people who knew better, why would they need the names from you, Slade? They already knew the people's names. They didn't know what crimes they committed. They needed to convict niggas and get them off the streets. They didn't need names. They knew that. And you gave up shit they didn't have to keep yourself out of trouble. Ain't like you was no real plug. You got swept up on Operation Grinch. Operations ain't really that crazy. It ain't like it was no real cartel of trafficking niggas. Nah, they seen a lot of niggas in the area selling drugs. They got a bunch of confidential informants to build cases against everybody, and then they ran all the warrant. They got all the shit they need from the system, and they run their warrants at the same time, and they put all the arrests in the paper. That's an operation. It was Operation Grinch. I think it was like get rid of criminals or some shit for the holidays. I'll put a clip of what it was. I seen your mug shot. You look like a snitch. You look like a dope fiend, pussy. You didn't want to be in jail. Your bail was only $200,000. 10% of that's 20 bands. You didn't have that, homie. Got caught for 4 crack sales. That means you had a confidential informant. You were serving crack to a snitch. They came and bought drugs from you, recorded and reported it to police as instructed 4 times. I've been broken the law. I know what it means, bro. And if they came and seen you like you said when they did, that means you sat in jail all that time. You ain't had no bread. You was itching like a junkie to get out. You needed a fix. And they was telling you they was going to send you up for a crime you know you didn't commit. That they knew they could pin on you like they pinned on all them people that was at that parade that time. If I got to, I'll get pictures of all of them and print them. So that you know it's real. Piper Boy don't know what he's talking about. I know why your name's not on any more paperwork. Originally, I'm like, damn, these niggas don't know about the grand jury transcripts. That's what it is. But each day that passed, I thought more and more like I had to think when I was in the streets. It's how do you know who's snitching before paperwork comes out? You have to start connecting the dots. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Dude, you're involved with shit with us, but you're not indicted on anything? And you were bagged up? It's not none of us. We're all locked up. And we all had to plead out. They have crazy evidence against all of us, to the point where we had to all plead out, bro. So your mistake was telling about the guns. That really let them know. Because Mark wasn't around for that. You were. Mark ain't no street goon. He ain't hustle with them. He just ain't as move around as you is. So he is a witness to a lot of shit. But he always appears as a witness. He's not part of anything. They needed somebody who was in some stuff with them to tell. They could give up some stuff. I broke the law before, my nigga. I know how they be coming. Give us something. Come on, give us something good. That's how cops come, my nigga. Names ain't gonna be enough. If they came to you with anything, with any form of evidence, they had a case on you. And these civilian niggas that do blogging, no disrespect to none of y'all. No disrespect to none of the battle rappers that don't break the law for real and don't know no better. That's how I know, my nigga. I even know that Michael Ledbetter, the guy who they convicted for killing your man Zeke, and then he got let out after you told him he didn't do it. He dead. He got killed in August. Guess he'll never be able to show his paperwork to say who freed him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bruh. I dig deep. I follow everything. I can name niggas. That's how I know they ain't show you that music video. As soon as I thought about that, I smoked that blunt and said, hold up, Jerk said he got the video. Nigga, the police don't give evidence back. That's the first thing that proves you're a liar. You're lying about what they came and seeing you about. That lets niggas know right from the rip you're not to be trusted. Just say you're a good rapper, dog. You not no street nigga, bruh. And these niggas don't really care about snitching because they're letting you plead your case. So they don't care. You're going to be around. But watching your face on camera now, bro, I have a certain disgust for you. I put it on my daughter. I have a disgust for you. Because your face, I could tell there's a satisfaction in there of knowing you told, but you have the platform to shape the narrative. And the niggas who know you told, bro, will never be able to get that shit off. They'll never be able to prove that shit. These niggas looking at this little ass paperwork about a fight. Like that means something. This insignificant case. These insignificant details that we already know about. Ain't nobody getting no big time on that shit. They wanted murders. They wanted real shit. Come on, man. I'm like that with my shit, nigga. Let me see if there's anything I'm missing. I got a notebook with dates and everything in it. That's how I memorized that the investigation started a week after you got bagged on Operation Grinch. You got bagged up on that shit, man. Them niggas probably seen your name in the papers, came and seen your whole ass, and had that talk with you. I know what I'm forgetting. Connecticut has this thing where they have like this playing card system. They even admitted that the tip that got the investigation rolling came from an inmate. They even tell on you. They low-key tell, but none of those guys from Money Green Bedrock were locked up at the time. Rivera was bagged for a 2011 murder, but if you want to say it's him, shit, how the fuck is his own testimony not matching the shit said against him? That's how you know it wasn't him. He's a bandwagon nigga who started telling once he thought he could get something shaved off. I even know why they didn't shave it off. They didn't shave no time off when he tried to say that he was there. He lied on Amen because he got convicted of killing Zeke. When they turned that shit over and let Ledbetter go, he's the one who had to take it because they always knew it was friendly fire. He killed Zeke, a member of Money Green Bedrock. It was friendly fire and killed him by accident. That's how deep I get into your shit, nigga. I know all of that. If Jerk watching this shit, I know he nodding. Tay-Rock nigga put some bread in my cash app. I saved you today. Now talk bossy to these niggas. They don't give evidence back. Jerk got the video. Fuck it. And y'all get so caught up. They dangle things in your face. Oh man, his brother drew the chart. His brother don't even got government names on the chart. He shows a hierarchy. Cool beans. He's a super rat. He's a square. They always knew he was a square ass nigga. They expected solid shit from Slade. You probably one of them cornball niggas when Zeke died. You ain't rock with them niggas like that. You ain't no sucker ass nigga, but you wasn't trying to be doing all the dumb shit they was into. You getting away with that shit that all them niggas got locked up on the first time. It scared the shit out you, boy. Then you started separating from niggas, not playing them so close.
I told him clearly, because there's nothing over there for me, but niggas coming through, shooting the block up. I almost lose my life all the fucking time. And every time I'm outside chilling, y'all jumping out, taking me to fucking jail. So there's nothing over there for me. I'm straight. Ain't nothing over there from prison. And then they hit me with the, well, you in prison right now. We know what you're doing out here in blase blah. Cause I went OT to get some real bread. You know, niggas stayed in the hood broke.
Then he talk plug talk. It's the same nigga that was fumbling quarters and balls, my nigga. The only brick he ever seen was the brick that was holding up the building he lived in, nigga.
I went OT, caught that case, and that's why I got subpoenaed to court. So for what it's worth, bro, I ain't never told on nobody. You telling niggas I got one nigga 60 years, one nigga 37 years, and one nigga's 10 years? Because they bring me in the courtroom. Okay, you told them that I told the police somebody got hit with a bottle, and that got one person 60, one person 37, and another person 10. What was that a nuclear Heineken bottle? What happened? Y'all niggas gotta make it make sense, bro.
That's why you had to give up information from around the time that Zeke got killed. That's the last information you had on them, but that was enough to roll the investigation and get your brother and you really, come on, man. I know why Jerk is mad. I thought he was hating on you. He probably is a little bit. You could rap your ass off. Your brother know you could rap. They probably beat him the fuck up for saying you rap better than Platinum P. But that's only more proof that they didn't really rock with him like that. He was some square nigga, bro. And if he was the super rat, he would have started telling as soon as they fucked him up. And since he did snitch and sign a lot of statements, everything he signed got dates on it. Doesn't really account for what the newspaper released from the fucking state. They even talk about how they had to edit the warrants and they went to like crazy like precautions to keep everybody safe that was running their mouth. Slade, you're one of them guys, bro. Battle rap just needs to say they don't care. Don't give them platforms. Uncle Ross, come on, dog. Y'all niggas is too hung up on paperwork. I do this. You better believe Surf and them niggas is sitting in there trying to figure out right now who's running their mouth. You don't gotta wait for paperwork. You will be eaten before court. And they do that kind of shit to keep witnesses from disappearing. And that's how Money Green was getting down. They was real niggas. Come on, bro. I had all kinds of ideas for how to spice up the video, but I'm not putting all that in there, dog. You a fucking rap, bro. And I can say what I'm saying right now and prove it, my nigga. You did what you did. You did what you did, bro. All types of shit. Come on, man. I'll give you dates, nigga. Ape not important, son. Ape was a real hitter, but you ain't had much on Ape. He wasn't the brother you really kicked it with like that. He was too extreme for you. Mark was around a lot for Ape. But Zeke, you, all them names that rocked out, that was during all that West Indian parade, that shit, y'all was kind of more of a crew than anything, bro. So when they got evidence like that, you're telling on yourself, man. You're telling on yourself, bro. Word up. She got me mad as hell. Watching your dumbass face. Even seeing your face in your live, I knew you was lying, bro. I hate you, my nigga. You better hope you stay in battle rap, because them niggas gonna fucking smoke you in Connecticut, bro. You're corny. You told. You really told. And why would the police have had that video as evidence from 2009 showing it to you in 2013 when it wasn't connected to the big investigation? It doesn't make sense. Any of it. Anything you're saying. You just saying shit. And these fans don't know no better. Niggas ain't never did nothing. You can always tell who telling on you. Remember, I got bagged up in a fucking gang sweep. A junkie named Magic told on me. Talking about the confidential informant only knows the defendant's girlfriend is Red. Like I don't know that he's the only person that called her Red. I don't need your name. It's you, nigga. Street niggas gotta depend on different devices to find out who telling, bruh. You a corn. You're a corn, my nigga. And everybody was wrong. Hit my Cash App.
Just because a nigga is a rat, just because a nigga is a bitch ass nigga, just because a nigga is a snake, don't mean he shouldn't have an opportunity to feed his family.
because them kids and shit don't got nothing to do with that. So he should always be able to feed his family. But once they full, nigga, that's where we step in.